ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to D.G. Will's Books in La Jolla, California. Tonight we're honored to have the great Walt Sweeney here with noted sports historian Bill Swank. Nine-time NFL Pro Bowl guard Walt Sweeney is one of the greatest linemen ever to play in the National Football League. Before he became a pro, he was an All-American offensive and defensive end at Syracuse University. He blocked for 1961 Heisman Trophy winner Ernie Davis for 2 years and also helped Syracuse win the 1961 Liberty Bowl game. He was recognized as one of the top players in the nation when he played in the North-South game, the Coach's All-Star game, the Senior Bowl, and Coach's All-America game. Walt is a member of the Syracuse All-Century team. He was then a first-round draft pick of the San Diego Chargers in the 1963 AFL Draft and was the second player picked overall. He protected such great quarterbacks as John Hadle, Hall of Fame quarterback Johnny Unitas, and Dan Fouts. He then played for the Washington Redskins for a couple of years. And then retired in 1975. Walt is a member of the San Diego Chargers Hall of Fame and is definitely one of the greatest offensive linemen ever to have played pro football. He's also a member of the AFL's All Time Team. Lance Allworth, the Hall of Fame wide receiver with the Chargers, said about Walt, said, "My teammate and friend forever. In my opinion, the greatest middle linebacker playing guard. Walt should be in the Hall of Fame, one of the best and most passionate athletes of our time." And another fellow that Walt had to block was Merlin Olsen, the great defensive the great defensive tackle of the Rams, with whom I grew up in L.A.
You almost said St. Louis.
I know it, damn it. Even though the Rams are in St. Louis, I still think they're in L.A.
You never call them St. Louis.
I know it's shit. I've got all kinds of L.A. Rams gear hanging all over the store here, but I grew up watching Merlin Olsen. Merlin Olsen of the Fearsome Foursome, of course, one of the other members of the Fearsome Foursome, Deacon Jones, you'll hear more about from the man and from Walt Sweeney, because they had some fun together. Merlin Olsen, the great Merlin Olsen, said, "If I had to play against Sweeney every week, I'd rather sell used cars." Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only great Walt Sweeney.
They told me there wouldn't be any speaking involved here, just signing. But I guess the reason I'm getting some attention lately is because I did write this book. And actually, started writing it in 1996, something like that, when I was living in Lake Tahoe, and never did really anything with it, and came back to San Diego, and Bill read a copy of it, and he liked it, and thanks to Bill, the thing finally got published. But I'd be glad to answer any questions anyone has to ask me. I don't know really what to talk about, except what's in the book, and it just says what a no good goddamn drunk I was in the book. I wrote it so many times I don't want to talk about it anymore. I was living in Lake Tahoe, and I just lost a lawsuit with the NFL. And I didn't have a job, and I didn't have anything else to do, so I figured, hey, why not write a book?
There you go.
Yeah. My wife encouraged me. She was kind of the thing that got it going. Yeah. Yes.
What's happening now with all the lawsuits and everything, and are you getting anything back from all that's going on now?
No. I'm involved in one of the lawsuits, but I mean, they were just looking for names to put on there. Yeah. Those things are probably about concussions, and they'll probably be in court for 100 years. I've got a thing from the lawyer. I guess the NFL knew how damaging concussions were 12 years ago, but they just sat on it, didn't release the information or anything like that. A very corrupt organization.
Yeah.
Buck Buchanan.
Buck Buchanan.
Went to Kansas City.
He must have played against him every year for.
Well, he was on the other. So he was 6'9" and like 290, and he was on the other side. Fortunately,
I know, on KC.
I played a guy named Curly Culp who was pretty good. Right. I played both ways in college, but defense was really my forte. And Cleveland drafted me to be a defensive end, and the Chargers, I thought, wanted me as a linebacker. But as it turned out, a lot of offensive linemen were hurt then, and they asked me to do it. I thought, God damn, a guard? This is the lowest. I was a back in high school, and end in college, and now a guard. And I felt that way for a long time until I realized, you know, without the guards,
And who was your
nobody throw the passes.
offensive line coach?
Joe Madro,
Joe
who
Madro.
did a wonderful job with me because I didn't know anything about offensive line.
And he was with the Chargers up until the 70s too, wasn't he? And
Yes, he and Sid had been together for many, many years. Yeah.
And you guys had to hold that pocket a long time, didn't
Yeah, we did.
Hold
We had a
that
lot of
pocket.
passing, and like Guy just said, Gillman was, you know, the grandfather of all the modern passing game today.
That was,
They give a lot of credit to what's his name from San Francisco,
Walsh.
Walsh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
He worked on the
understudied,
set.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
If I can remember correctly, I heard. You got any more bennies in your pocket?
So
Just kidding. '63.
Yeah, you can come back.
They had a charity game in Chicago every year where the champs of the NFL would play the college all-stars. And we were playing the Packers that year. And
The pros just went all out, right? The pros went all out. They didn't want to get beat by you guys.
no, they didn't.
So they kind of played everybody a lot. And
But we had, everyone had to get, we were in Northwestern. We stayed up there. We had to get down to Chicago at the stadium on our own. And so one of our teammates had a car, and 6 of us went down and went near the stadium to a hotel where one of their pals were had a room. And we had a couple hours to kill, so each of us drank about 6 beers. It's the only time I've ever done that in my life. Never did it again. And we went out and beat the Packers. And Lombardi was just ape shit. Alcohol's played a large part in my life. I was already drafted by the Chargers and the Browns in the fall. Back then, the draft was held around early December, something like that. And we had one last game on the West Coast. Syracuse was playing UCLA, already been drafted. Last game of the year, me and a couple of my teammates, first time in California, said, well, we're going to go out and have a couple of pops. And so we did. And when I returned, I had a note at the lobby saying, Sid Gillman and Al Davis are waiting to see me. Oh, man, I just panicked. You know, it smelled like a brewery. It's the night before a game, and I'm up in the room throwing aftershave and eating mints. And I finally get out and see these guys. And in the Coconut Grove, we were staying at the Ambassador Hotel. And I talked to them for a while, and I was just real happy they didn't say anything about my drinking, or they couldn't smell anything or what. But yeah, I signed my first contract there. Number 1 draft choice, my bonus was $5,000. Al Davis said, he made me feel like I was stealing. He said to me, I don't know how you did it, you know. I didn't have a chance with these 2 guys. I mean, I was just happy to sign for anything after getting by the drinking bit. Next day, I had a good game against UCLA. I had a couple of quarterback sacks, and the guy from Cleveland was pulling on my arm saying, we'll give you anything you want. Wow. And instead I already signed, and they took me to the end zone and had like a fake signing there for TV. Wow. 13 years later, I had to shoot a gun off to get my last contract. So the book's about everything that happened between there. Yeah, Don Rogers was still there.
Still Don Rogers,
Ernie Wright,
Ernie Wright, and then the left guard was
or Pat Shea.
Pat Shea.
A run mix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good man, right?
I told him what I wanted. He wrote the prescription, and that was
Those doctors are hard to find.
it. He told me that he used to be on the golf team at San Diego State, and he used marijuana to slow down his backswing.
It's a matter of science. It's a matter of science, right?
That's right. Hey, he's a doctor. He must know.
I don't know.
Oh, it was really really nice, you know. But I never really thought it was good as people said I was. So it was kind of people would say, "Oh, that guy's great" and all that, and I didn't really feel that great. It was probably one of the reasons I got into chemicals early on. You want to feel as good as people think you're feeling, you know. A lot of people do that. No, I never felt I was an offensive lineman. I felt I was a football player. I got stuck in the offensive line.
You want to be a linebacker, no?
I should have been a linebacker.
Walt, a sports writer once wrote, I can't remember if he was from Sports Illustrated, but he wrote that the only fighting Irishman on the field was Walt Sweeney, and it was a famous game against Notre Dame,
Right.
where you got the game ball. Would you tell us about that game?
Yeah, we were
And that
playing.
play?
We were playing Notre Dame in South Bend, Syracuse was, and if we won the game, we went to the Orange Bowl, you know, and it would be millions now, but hundreds of thousands of dollars for the school. On the last play of the game, we were ahead by 2 points. Notre Dame was lining up to kick a 55-yard field goal, and they called me for roughing the holder. And the time had elapsed, but they moved the ball 15 yards closer, and they kicked a 40-yard field goal and won the game. A couple of days after that, the NCAA came out and said Notre Dame did not win the game. There's no such penalty as roughing the holder. And Notre Dame would have to concede, but they never did.
No kidding.
And yeah, Schwartzwalder, our coach, gave me the Player of the Game award. Man, I'm in there crying and shit. I had a not very good game anyway, you know. Yeah. So that's what I'm known for at Syracuse, is the guy that lost the Notre Dame game.
Great.
No, Massachusetts, Boston area. Yeah. Park the car over there, Walt. That was the deal. Wicked. Wicked.
That explains
Yeah.
everything.
And you wound up in San Diego. That was luck, huh? That's good.
I didn't really want to go to Cleveland after 4 years of snow in Syracuse, San Diego. Sounded mighty good, whether they paid me or not.
Could I make a point? You know, we've been talking about how Walt becomes a lineman. Think about today. The number 2 draft pick, who's an All-American, is told you are going to play the least glamorous spot on the team. How many guys today would do that? And this man did it, and he never complained about it. He wasn't happy about it, but he did it, and became one of the greatest offensive linemen there was. And he'd never played the position before. That tells you how good of a football player was. Right, Todd Tobias? Todd is the historian for the old Chargers. You have a comment on that, Todd?
No, it's absolutely true. I mean, you know, I've talked to several of Walt's teammates, and Lance Allworth in particular told me, you know, Walt was absolutely miscast as an offensive lineman. He said, if you know, if we would have put him at middle linebacker, then nobody would know the name Dick Butkus.
Wow.
But we needed an offensive guard, and Walt physically could do the job, and he did it phenomenally. So.
Well, thank you, Todd.
You're welcome. You know, aside from maybe kicker, you probably could have played anything.
I don't know.
All the time coming over here. We even said, boy, we should have put that one in the... You want to tell that story without mentioning any names? Or should we not?
Which one was it? I forgot.
The one about how one of your teammates met his wife?
Oh, you tell me.
I'm not going to mention this. And,
yeah.
Put the fingers in Toby and Will's ears.
Probably heard before, version of it.
He said, yeah. He said he met his wife at a gangbang. Now, how many guys would admit to that?
That's unique.
I said, that would have been a pretty funny story.
As long as you're not the guy, I guess.
Yeah.
That's for the next book, right?
You knew you were getting though, right?
A couple of weeks ago, Dennis told me so. I couldn't think of the name of the, it was called the trains where you guys put your place in. And it was called Sweeney.
Sweeney O'Shea's.
Yeah. And I would go in there, and they would be there. You had lunch, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
They'd be drinking in the back and among other things. And I'd come in and I'd say, "You got some customers out there?" And they'd go, "No, that's okay. We'll be out there later." Yeah, it was like I'd go there every Wednesday and get an order. And they'd be there, and they were nicest guys in the world to meet. But then when people walked in at the wrong time that they knew from somewhere else, that wasn't pretty, you know. I said, I don't think you're going to create a big customer base in this place here, you know. So you guys had that about 8 months?
Yeah, almost a year. I went from there to
Almost a year.
rehab. Guys were late, you know, instead of leaving us tips, I put in lines of coke.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Shay today. Pat came down and visited me.
Yeah.
Pat Shay, yeah. My partner in the bar he's talking about.
Yeah, his brother lived next to, we all knew each other.
When we were setting this book signing up, and I told Walt, you know, you're going to like Dennis's bookstore. You're going to get along fine. And it comes down, of course, Dennis hands him a pass blue ribbon. He was inside talking to a guy named Tom Basinski. I don't know if any of you saw the article that Tom wrote in Prime magazine. And there were two kids right outside, and they were wearing Pop Warner t-shirts and football stuff. And Dennis said, "How would you guys like to meet a real football player?" "Yeah, that'd be great." So Dennis tells him, "Yeah, his name is Walt Sweeney." And the kids say, "We know Walt Sweeney." They're, "Yeah, sure you do, sure you do." So we bring him around, they walk in, and Walt, they say, "Hi, Walt." He says, "Oh, hi, guys." I said, "How do you know Walt Sweeney?" And the little kid, who was 10 years old, said, "We met him in a bar." and that was the truth. Now, how does a 10-year-old meet a guy in a bar? Well, his mother, her stepmother, was the bartender.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So Walt, if you'd like to, you know, see him and talk with him some more, you can go to any of these bars. On the 13th, he'll be at Paradise and Pal Joey's. The 14th of October, Peter D's and JP Pub. So where else would you meet Walt Sweeney but in a bar, or D.G. Will's Books, which is just about the same thing as a bar.
The two kids he's talking about live right behind here.
Yeah.
With their mom. Yeah.
But that was pretty funny, Walt.
Yeah, it was. Kind of embarrassing, too. I saw him walk out of the Comer men's room once with a urinal cake in his mouth. That guy likes attention.
You think you found a fresh one, or was it used?
We didn't have any storage area in that men's room, I know that.
That's
And
Malan really knew what he was doing.
yes,
I mean, I don't think, I never heard of him being involved in any kind of steroid.
really.
No. He helped me a lot, I know that.
Oh yeah. Oh, he helped us all out.
Yeah,
I mean, he
but
was a
some-
great strength coach. He had
Sometimes he'd go down there to go work out, and he'd drag me across the street to the Velvet Hammer.
Yeah, the Velvet Hammer.
Yeah,
Of course.
my coach.
Oh
the
my
Velvet
God.
Hammer. I didn't really think he was that great.
Yeah.
The one reason I never liked him, Costa told me a story about him, that he was on injured reserve, and one of his teammates was having a lot of marital problems, and they were out, the team went out of town, and he was over there trying to wise guy's old lady, you know. So I was never a favorite. Alzado.
It's,
What's up, man?
Wayneburg, Doc?
Yeah. See it.
Yeah. It came in last night thinking it was. Last night, I came here last night thinking it was Ben to see you. We got here, we screamed up here. God, Walt,
Good to
it's
see
good.
you,
It's
Wayne.
good seeing you.
Good
Wow.
seeing you.
Have a seat, man. Oh, great.
Would you like a beer?
You do remember him.
Anyone have any questions? No, most of the guys were guys that like to go out and have a beer after practice, and some guys didn't. But you know, we all kind of blended in together.
I see.
Wasn't any problem with that.
Nice.
Thought that I knew of. My senior year of college, just got married before my senior year. I went from 235 at Syracuse. I went up to 273. But I was, you know, it wasn't a good weight. And the most I played, when I played with the Chargers, I think I weighed 260 one year, which is also not a good weight for me. I don't have that big a frame, and my natural weight's probably around 200, 210. I weigh 215 now.
You look good at 260.
Huh?
You look good at 260.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, Walt.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
About Denver, my linebacker?
Yeah.
Well, offensive linemen couldn't talk too much on the line because they had to listen to the count. Defensive linemen did all the talk, but we had one guy, Freddie Forsberg, that played for Denver. He was a friend of mine, and I'd be down in my stance, and he'd go with his eyes this big, and he'd go, "Hey, Walt, how many did you take today?" And his eyes were like this, for Christ's sake. Freddie
Your
Forsberg.
incident with Karras.
Huh?
Alex
With
Karras?
With Alex Karras.
Jeez, that was-
Yeah, in the book, it says I threw him down. All I did was spit on him. But I don't know how you got let that, but in the book it says I took him by his face mask and threw him.
Yeah.
But that, you know.
Well, I remember
that was San
why.
Diego Magazine.
Oh.
That somebody said that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I remember why. It's because that was the first game ever played, an exhibition game in San Diego Stadium, and they won 51 to nothing. And I remember it was just, the stadium was all, and it was the first game ever played at the,
Well, the Detroit game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like
Detroit
35-17
It was
though.
an exhibition.
the exhibition
35-17.
game. Oh, they just, are you
yeah.
sure it
Are you
wasn't
sure?
50?
It was like 35-17.
Yeah, it was the
We won
first
that
game ever
We won that
played,
game.
and the
It was-
stadium was
then
all.
Milt Plum was a quarterback. It was like
Right.
35-17.
What was that, 66? Something?
66. I think it was 66 before the season was 67.
I know Detroit had played Denver the
It
week
was
before.
67.
Karras said,
It was
if the
67
Broncos beat us, I'll walk back to Detroit. And the Broncos beat them.
That's right. Man.
But, yeah, I just had a little interaction with him. You know, I was probably holding him.
But that was
He
the
didn't
only.
like it, so I spit on him. Good idea.
Did you say anything?
For holding,
Yeah.
I didn't get caught very often.
Oh, seriously.
Billy Kilmer said I was the best holder he ever had. Quarterback for the Redskins.
He was good at that.
So you did it and got away with it, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why don't you tell about
These guys are a lot bigger than me. I had to do something.
Merlin Olsen, and that was the story Rick Smith likes to tell, how that they're in their offensive huddle, and Olsen comes and sticks his head in the huddle, right?
Yeah.
Tell them what happened on that one.
What happened was I was with Washington at the time, and we were throwing a pass, and I set up, and Merlin was beating me, and I grabbed his face mask and just pulled him down on top of me. And we're in the huddle calling the play, and Merlin comes in the huddle and says, "Sweeney, if you do that again, I'm going to break your neck." And he was big enough to do it, strong enough to do it. But it's something I've only done maybe 3 times in 13 years. It just so happens I tripped on the next play. I had to do it again.
Wow.
Fortunately, it didn't break my neck. I don't remember much about Mike Ditka. That was my sophomore year in college.
That's right. That's true.
My first game I started and he was a senior All-American from Pittsburgh. And I know it was a rough afternoon, but I can't remember too much. But some Mean Joe Greene was tough. A guy by the name of from Cincinnati by the name of
Reed?
Mike Reed. He's a hell of a ball player
He's quite young,
and
though.
a hell of a pianist, and he's won Grammys for some of his work. He had all the tools, you know. He was strong and quick, and he probably could have been, you know, if he didn't get injured.
Yeah, what a shame.
I can't remember who the hell the other backs were. I remember
Before
Brown.
Riggins was on there.
No, Riggins got there in
Yeah, but he was with the Jets.
'76, because I was still on the team in '76. I was on injured reserve, and I wasn't even on injured reserve yet. I was on the team. They fitted me with a brace, and I went out and practiced with it. And when they took it off, my knee just exploded. They knew my career was over with. And Riggins had been there a couple of weeks, and he said, "Go on by my room." And so I was on my way out. I was getting out of there. I went by the room, and he pulled out a big tie stick, twisted it up. It's the last time I saw John Riggins. No, I saw him in Canton. Al Davis took me back to the Hall of Fame when he was inducted. And John was inducted at the same time. The Chargers?
Yeah.
They suck. That's what goes through my mind. If they beat New Orleans tomorrow, I might jump on their bandwagon.
Yeah, really. That ain't gonna happen.
I don't think so either. It's not the any team that fires a 14-2 coach.
Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah.
You know.
AJ Smith.
AJ, idiot.
Yeah.
Drive a guy to drink.
Jesus.
Well, I don't know how much everybody is into having a sip of scotch, but I brought a little bottle here and some shot glasses if anyone wants to toast my old favorite Charger. Because I'll tell you what, in this town growing up, there was a lot of guys that really never left an impression. Walt, when I was a little boy growing up, and even at Malan's, and I met him, he was a gentleman and always made me feel special. And if anybody would like to have a shot of scotch with me, I'm going to drink one to him right now.
I'll have one with you.
It's not the best. It's just I grabbed one yesterday when I was down at the Traders.
It's all right. It's not the best beer either.
When do I get the book signed by Walt Sweeney?
Well, whenever they're finished.
As soon as you buy it. Good to see you after a long time.
Steve.
No, I'm not gonna
We've had
drink.
many.
Oh, let me have one of those.
You want in there, Joe?
I remember the trains and all that good stuff.
I remember too.
Walt.
I can remember
Well,
talking to you
you're gonna
later.
have a Drambuie.
Matter of honor here.
That's right. There you go.
You wouldn't know that with a beer.
Here's to Walt Sweeney.
Hey,
Oh, no, one more.
we're gonna have
Here's
to-
to Walt
We're
Sweeney.
gonna have to share them all up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here's to Walt. I only have 5 shot glasses at home. Maybe there's another one in your home.
Have a light.
Well, and then after,
Bill, did you choose that picture? Is it because it kind of resembles Manson in that picture?
just,
Oh,
we have a question about the cover, Walt.
Is that Charlie Manson in disguise? Is it? What's up with that?
No, because, well, you like the cover? Do people?
I think it's great.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it fits well perfectly.
Well,
But I remember
I have to
all
tell you,
all
a
the sweat
friend of
coming
mine
out of
is one of
him.
the most attractive women in town. Always thought you were the most handsome devil on that team. She still has.
He was right.
No, you're
She's on the 55.
That is a good question.
There's so many of them.
You know, I really can't put a finger on it. Maybe when I got drafted by the Chargers, #1 draft choice, I was real proud of that. when I made the team, I was proud of that. And when we won the championship, very proud. And I don't know, I was proud that I was able to play 13 years without missing a game.
Wow.
That's very good.
Wow.
Right.
Proud of that.
It's just stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Don't ask.
I worked out a lot. Even though I drank a lot, I always worked out and I always ate well.
Wow. Interesting.
Well, in the beginning, you guys used to have to work second jobs.
That's
Oh,
what,
yeah.
that's what I was asking, yeah.
Yeah, we did. We had to work another job just to make ends meet back then.
Because you didn't earn enough money.
Yeah.
It was, you said your salary was.
Now these guys, they sign once and
Well-
it's set for life. My first year salary was $15,000 a year. First, second year,
I'm sorry, what year was that?
63.
63.
This is a great book that Todd put together. History from the AFL.
Yeah.
And I am on the cover. Me and
Absolutely.
Mix.
You and Mix and Hadel.
Hadel.
Right on the cover, and there's an article in there on you. Yep, of course. Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I bribed Todd.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a lot of feelers from maybe 25 schools. But the only real good offers I had was Syracuse and BU and BC. And the reason I went to Syracuse is because Schwartzwalder, the head coach, came down and visited me a couple of times and showed more interest in me than the other schools.
And how were
And the
you?
drinking age was 18.
And how were you treated at school? I mean, were you like a real hero of the campus? All the girls fell at your feet, or?
No. Not unless you hit him on the head.
Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
My freshman year, Syracuse were national champs. But the freshmen couldn't play on the varsity then. They can now. They beat Texas in the Cotton Bowl, and so if you were a football player back there, and I was a highly heralded freshman coming out, had a great freshman season. They thought I was the greatest thing since sliced toast.
Right.
Until they found out, you know, I'd like to go to a bar once in a while. That wasn't the boy in shining armor, you know. But they couldn't do anything about it because I produced for them. That's the way it is. It's big business. Oh, my coach called me in. Talked to me about drinking and carousing.
Probably Louis too.
And I said, well, I'll admit to the drinking, but I didn't know what carousing was. He thinks it's funnier than I do. United's a great guy. Great guy.
Did he command respect to the players? Did everybody?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. Are you kidding? The one thing I can remember about Johnny was we were walking down the hall in the dormitory up at UCA Irvine, and that's where we had training camp for 5 years. And he was going, those boys are in there burning that rope again, meaning weed, you know. Yeah, Harlan went out and got all these guys. We had enough badasses on the team already, and he went out and brought in a bunch more to add to the problem. I was playing when I was playing?
Yeah, when you were playing.
Well, definitely Gene Upshaw was my least favorite player.
Is that right?
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, there's so many good ones that could have been my favorite. But Bob Lilly, I love the way he played defensive tackle. You know, some of the quarterbacks. I don't know. I just don't know.
Walt, since you played next to Ron, you and Ron Mix, we're next door neighbors, guard and tackle. What are your memories of Ron Mix?
Oh, Ron Mix was a great football player. The guy worked harder than anyone I knew. He wasn't a real natural. So whatever he earned, he worked hard for it to develop his style. great, and he belongs where he is in the Hall of Fame. He's a great offensive tackle.
As do you in the Hall of
Well,
Fame.
thank you.
I know, what a joke.
So did Mix ever give you any good legal advice?
Thanks to my lawsuit with the NFL, Mix has made more money. The guys that are trying to get
Workers' comp.
workman's comp, or
Oh, God.
yeah.
Wow.
He ought to send me a Christmas card every year.
At least.
Did he really only hold twice in his career, Walt?
Twice that he got caught.
Ah.
I don't know what Mix was doing. I was worried about what I was doing. Yeah, I hate to tell you about my military career.
Okay.
I will if you want me to.
No, that's fine. No, I just wondered if you escaped the draft or.
While I was a junior in high school, I joined the Navy Reserve for some unknown reason. And I got a scholarship to Syracuse. They wanted to send me on active duty. They allowed me to join Army ROTC, which I took for 2 years. And I dropped out, or didn't pass it, or whatever it was. After my second year at ROTC, the Navy still wanted to send me on active duty. I said, bullshit, you're going on active duty. I joined the Marine Platoon Leaders Corps.
Ew.
No meetings, but the following summer I had to go to Camp Lejeune. Summertime came around, I said, fuck you, pardon me, I'm not going. And I went to a doctor, and he finally gave me a deal and said I had woolen clothing, irritated my skin. I'm embarrassed to talk about my military career. Bill and I went to lunch with a mutual friend. What's his name? Oh yeah, Dion Rich.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Remember
God.
Dion?
I know who he is, sure.
Yeah, and anyway, Bill and I met at one of Dion's gatherings, and I gave him a copy of the book, and he thought it was worthwhile.
Yeah.
Can I buy a book?
Yeah. Are there any other questions for Walt?
Well, the biggest thing I think was learning how to pass protect. Because as a tight end, I did some down blocking and downfield cross-body blocks and all that stuff. But pass protection was the toughest thing you had to learn. The thing was, my best attribute was I was quick. I could get beat and still recover and cut the guy and stuff like that. So my quickness really saved me. That was the toughest part.
Does Gilman ever use you as a tight end ever in a game?
No. One game against the Chits, my rookie year, I was just playing special teams. He put me on defensive end for a couple of plays towards the end of the game. Yeah, and we could have gotten better, but Gilton just didn't want to put any money into the team.
Really?
As far as...
Is that right?
He could have drafted Alan Page. Instead, he drafted Ron Billingsley.
He had a great, I remember that. He even had a great defense to grow that offense.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really, Sam? Wow.
Oh, we just had Sam Grenison. He was my roommate for 10 years with the Chargers.
Wow.
Really?
Who was that?
Don't they put this stuff in the paper anymore? Tom Keating passed away.
Tom Keating?
I didn't see anything in the paper about him.
I got a message from one of his kids, and so I wrote about it for my blog. But yeah, it hasn't been in the paper or anything.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess.
Thanks, Walt. Appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you very much, Walt Sweeney.
Thank you for coming.